Welcome to Zephyr for Jira Cloud. In this tutorial, we'll get an introduction to Zephyr for Jira test case issue fields. In Jira, issues have attribute fields that hold our information regarding the issue. Jira has some default fields that work across all issue types, such as summary, component, description, versions, priority, labels, and etc. All of these Jira fields are editable when viewing a test case issue. Users can easily edit and change these fields by clicking the individual fields and changing the value and/or text for these fields. Test case issues with Zephyr for Jira contains additional fields that are unique to test cases, such as the test details section, which contains test steps. Test steps are where we house our individual testing steps that need to be performed for our individual test case. This can include a series of tasks that need to be completed for the testing activity of the individual test case. Test steps are typically included to help provide more context and clarity on the testing activities required for the test case to be performed. Zephyr for Jira test cases include fields for your test step, test data, and test results, and can even include attachments for your individual test steps. With test steps, we can create as many steps required for the test case, and can even reorder our test steps to fit our needs. Adding a test step is as simple as filling out a couple fields and clicking the Add button. First, let's navigate to the test details section and fill in the fields for the test step, data, and results. The test step field typically includes context on the task performed for the individual step. For example, we can fill in the field stating add multiple items from the Smart Store to your cart, which is the task that needs to be performed for the test step. The test data field typically includes any information required to perform the step. For this, we can add select any item available from the store with a price to the test data field. The test result field typically includes what the expected outcome of the step should be. Here, the expected result of the test step is that the item should be added to the checkout cart. After filling in the fields for the individual test steps, we can simply click on the Add button to add the test step. Now, we've successfully created a new test step for our test case issue. To clone a test step, we can simply navigate to the test step that we want to clone. Let's preview our test steps. If you want to clone this particular test step, we can easily clone by clicking the Clone button under the Action column for the test step. This will bring up a clone window, which prompts us where we want to add the clone test step. We can add the clone test step before or after the original test step, insert it at a specific step, or add it to the last step. For now, let's add it right after the test step that we are cloning. After choosing, we can click on the Clone button, and this will create a copy of our original test step. We can see that it was added right after the original test step. But let's say we want to change the position of the clone test step. We can reorder and move the test step by using the Reorder button on the left-hand side of the test step. Simply click and drag where you want to drop and move the test case to reorder it. It's as easy as dragging and dropping. Now the last thing that we want to show you is how to delete a test step. Users can delete unwanted or unnecessary test steps if need be. To delete your test steps, we can navigate to the test step that we want to delete. If we want to delete this particular step, we can easily delete by clicking the Delete button under the Action column for the test step. This will display a pop-up to verify deleting the test step. In our case, we are sure that we want to delete it, so we can click Delete. Now our test step is permanently removed. Zephyr for Jira test case issues distinguishes itself from normal Jira issues by utilizing test steps to help users organize their testing activities. With test steps, we can create as many test steps that we may need. There are some more fields such as linking where we can map the test cases to our other issues to provide the traceability. We'll continue this in the next tutorial. This wraps up our Zephyr test case issue fields introduction. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial to learn how to map Zephyr test case issues.